Strategic Guide, Episode Mayan Jungle. 5 power with the fox ball. Let's go. And we can always go right here on the starting position. Make sure we gotta really hug the corner. If we go too far on the right side, we'll miss. There it is. And then get an easy 2. If you don't start on the favorable side on the left over there, no worries. You can just use a hard yellow over there. Every now and then you'll land up here. And then you can just mid-light yellow, get in here, also get it 2. Make it in from here, even if you try like this. Maybe with the cheetah ball, but not with the fox ball. Alright, so for this one, generally just going to use 2 forward spin, full power, just aim over here, no big deal. And then somewhere in the light yellow to hard, light orange to hard yellow. Hard yellow, sometimes you may land up short, so you may fall out of bounds. So generally it's probably more advised just to do the orange there, but if you do the hard yellow, sometimes you'll be able to get in the water. It's just an easier 3 than having to go up where Sonia is right now. You land it from up here, and then it's just going to be just under the hardest green. You can get just a little bit less. This one you're going to want to use a mid-green, wait for it to go down, then it'll come up. You'll land on it, go back. And double back spin to the right side of all that greenery on the wall, and then you'll land over here. And then you'll get your easy 3. What you can do is just do 1 spin, light orange right over here, and there's an invisible block. And then you can do 2 back spin just like this, hard yellow, off the tip of the block over here. And then you can get a sneaky 2, but it's not very consistent. And then if you land it here, this angle, hard yellow, light orange right over the ramp, go straight so it doesn't bounce weird off the angles. Good leave, 2 spin forward, wait for the timing, get it through that gap. Perfect. Easy 3. Alright, this one, just depending on the angle, you want to just bounce outside those stacked blocks. This should give you a good spot in here. 1 spin forward, and then aim just right of the hole, just under max power. And you should hit the water and go right in the hole. And this is going to be just over light yellow. Just get a little angle. That's pretty good. Okay, just hit it out over here. You don't want to be so far in the back wall that you're touching it. Sometimes you won't get enough distance. And then just 1 spin forward directly at it. That'll generally get you a 3. 2 spin forward, just go over here, land out over here. I like to do 1 spin, just so it'll land short. Guarantee we get over here. And then we get our easy peasy 3. Shot out here, what you can do is just power it like this. And land over here. And then you'll just be able to do this combination. And save it. Alright, this one's easy peasy. Just use 1 spin forward, hug the left side. Doesn't have to be too close to the left side, but anywhere over here is good. I like to do 2 backspin just to avoid all these walls that you could potentially hit. And then just easy 3 right into the hole. No worries. This one, depending on where you start, you can get a weird bounce sometimes. We'll just try it. Just do 2 spin forward. You want to kind of just aim it right in there. That's a perfect line. Now we can just make sure we get our accuracy correct. 2 spin forward. Make sure not to hit any walls. Perfect. Easy 3. You can make a 2, but I generally don't go for it. This is how you can make the 2, but it's a lot more risky. You're going to risk hitting some walls and not being able to make it, but if you can make it, it's pretty cool. Alright, this one, so the safe play is just to do a light yellow, go over here. just aim it over here. This is a good leave. Then it's just going to be just under a light yellow. Aiming at the hole. Right, so if you land more towards the right side over here, what you can do is you can bounce it off these corners over here, and it'll land somewhere, and then it could just be a random way to get it to, but it's generally consistent. In if you can work out the angles over time, you can get the two like that, but it's not as consistent. This is another example where you don't really know where it's going to land, but if you can just start to work on these angles, you'll be able to get a 2 every now and then if you need it, but generally just don't play for the 2, play for the 3. A niche shot you can make that's not very consistent is to bank it off the edge over here from this starting position. And then if you do 2 forward spin, that won't bounce as high over the ramp. Then you can just use just the light, mid-light yellow, and that could get you a 2. Alright, so for this one, what you're going to want to do is use a hard orange, just like this. Miss the wall. If you miss it just a little bit like we did, you're going to want to use a full 1 spin forward, just so you get enough area. That's perfect, and then you can just full power it straight over. No worries about going out of bounds. And then just bounce it in. This is too far back, so you're going to want to do 2 forward spin, ground spin, aim, hit the grass up here, and then that will get you over. And then get it in for 4. Alternatively, if you land over here, what you can do is just use a hard yellow, just under the hardest yellow. Aim right at the hole, and generally it should go in to save. Alright, this one I just like to use the lightest red you can get, or hard orange. Land it over here, then full blast it, just make sure to miss both of those. Then depending on where you land it, so it got the little extra kick, so now we're going to have to use a little bit more than a light yellow, just a little bit more, just a little bit more. There it is, that's pretty good. So land short like this, what you're going to want to do is just land it here. You're going to want to use hard yellow, land it in this light box space over there, and that should get you in the hole. If you land on this side, what you can do is just use a hard yellow, just like that. Here we're just going to do 2 forward spin, nothing fancy, just hit it right off into here. It's going to land on this side, and then aim at the middle block over here on the left, full power, and that'll get you into the 2. So if you start right here, you're going to want to aim on this right side. Make sure to aim kind of like there. And then if you hear 2 forward spin, right to left spin. It should get you in. Beautiful. Set up that one. Full power, just kind of aim towards the middle. You want to be back here. And if you are back here, you can just do 2 forward spin. Right at the hole. Every now and then you'll get that. Here, if you start on this side where the water is going left to right at the end, what you can do is 2 forward spin, right to left spin, then have your accuracy. If you start where the water is going right to left, and right there, easy. Alright, this one what you want to do is just use just under the hardest green you can get, land it here, 1 back spin, just left of the hole, and the accuracy should bring it in for you. So if you want, sometimes instead of going underneath, you can just do 1 spin over here into this pillar, and then you can get a 2 that way sometimes. Right, and then this one, this is my new default, right? So it's just under a hard yellow. Should leave you in this pretty good position right here. And then you should just be able to use a hard orange. Just make sure you kind of aim a little bit more left than you thought. Hard orange, light red should get you in with that. Alright, for this shootout, generally depending on where you start, so we start way back, so we're going to want to use light orange. We're going to want to aim just at the tip between the dark and light square. And that's a pretty good spot. Alright, so with this one, from any starting position, I just like to do 2 spin forward, light yellow. That should generally get you pretty close. Alright, shootout depends on where we start. So if we're kind of here, this is kind of in the middle, we're just going to use orange. Lightest orange you can get, aim at the hole. And that should get you close enough. Pretty good. Alright, this one, when you're in the closest position, just under the hardest yellow you can get. And that'll give you a real good spot. Alright, so for this shootout, depending on where you start, what I like to do is just do 1 spin. Just like that. Hard yellow, light orange. Pretty good.